What's up, you guys? Sean Ross Sapp here for the Matt Riddle BROCAST. I think it's official. That's the name of the show.
It's the BROCAST. It's a weekly. I would say it's a weekly special. It's not even a weekly show. It's a weekly special you get every week, and it's beautiful.
I would go as far as to say that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's good. It's good. It's a little off topic, sometimes on topic. You never know with what we're gonna do. It's a good time.
So what have you been up to this week, Matt?
This week, I've been trying to get my sleep pattern back on schedule still from the whole traveling thing. It's still not that good, but I'm staying awake longer.
It takes a while.
It does. It takes like a couple weeks, but I'm traveling this weekend. I can't announce where I'm working this weekend, but I'll be traveling a whole bunch, and but yeah, and I've just been honestly working out a lot. I've been getting the pump on. I haven't been able to hit the gym as hard because I was traveling so much. So I got some downtime. So I've been hitting the gym a couple times a day. So 2017, watch out.
To be fair, Matt, the other time where you weren't really allowed to tell us where you were working and you did anyway, it created controversy because people didn't pay any damn attention to it and acted like you no-showed an event.
I know that'll happen. And then I'm not gonna lie, the other day I was hit up on Twitter. I'm not gonna mention promotion names because I still I want to work for both promotions still, but there's a miscommunication. One promotion announced, PWG announced I was wrestling with Jeff Cobb against Brian Cage and Michael Elgin, the Machines.
Mm-hmm.
And the one promotion hit me up and they go, I thought we were locked in for, the 18th. And I was like, well, we agreed on a price. We agreed on this, but you never announced an opponent. You never said it was official. You were like, let me get back to you.
Yeah.
If you leave off with a let me get back to you, I mean, I'm going to fill the spot, especially if PWG comes knocking,
I'll be devil's advocate here as a journalist. Is this an issue with you, Matt? People, this a lot of times, because maybe they think that they have maybe an AIW per se, just throwing that out there, who we will actually be talking about today, thinks that you have agreed. And to be honest, I was sent some messages that maybe looked like you did. And maybe you need a word, an official pro.
I'll tell you this. If you ask me if I have a date open and I say yes and you're like, good, that does not mean we.
Oh, your connection went to shit again, Matt.
Have a date. No.
Yeah, your connection just went to duty.
You know what?
Straight duty. I can carry this show while you reset your router if you want to, Matt.
I might have to.
I'll put on a dog and pony show here. I'll tell the people while you do that, I will tell them all the things that we're going to talk about on this show. Then I will bombard you and surprise you with these topics, even though the people will already know about them.
All right, so should I just unplug my stuff and then replug it back in?
Then boot it back up, come back, follow that link I sent you, and you should be good.
All right, bro. I'll see you in a minute.
Okay.
All right.
So, guys, we have a ton to talk about with Matt today. When I say that we have a ton to talk about with Matt today, as it turns out, it's been a very eventful week for Matt Riddle-related topics. Gosh, I can think of 3 or 4 of them right now. First off, for MMA, Nevada is considering taking cannabis off of maybe the banned substance list. They're going to discuss it. Now, if you remember, guys, Matt, he will when he says he left the UFC on a 4-fight winning streak. Technically, Matt left the UFC 2-0 with 2 no contests. He won those 2 no contests, but both of them were overturned because he tested positive for marijuana. That's a weird situation to me. I don't think that fights should be overturned for marijuana use. He was not high in the cage. So that's why anybody else, if Matt had popped for a PED, if he had popped for steroids, you would hear me call him out on this show saying, no, Matt, you were 2-0 with 2-0 contests. Marijuana, you damn right Matt finished off 4-0 in the UFC and 5-0 to end his MMA career for now. Nevada is going to discuss this, and I'm going to ask Matt like what he thinks about that and if that changes the possibility of him maybe fighting. Now, neither of the two fights that he got popped for were in Nevada. One was in Canada, one was in England. In fact, he didn't his last 4 fights weren't even in Nevada, and he didn't fight there much to begin with. I think he fought there a couple times. So maybe that will happen. Maybe it'll change some things. I don't know. But usually a lot of people follow Nevada's lead. But one of the reasons Nevada is doing this is because I think it's recreationally legalized, I think. Probably should have read up on that. Also, one of our new Fightful.com podcast hosts, Fightful MMA podcast host, Sean Pearson. He's another guy who left the UFC on a winning streak. He won 3 straight fights. Now, it's Matt Riddle related because the first fight of his UFC career was a win over Matt Riddle. Oh, yeah. I can't wait to see his reaction there. I hope he doesn't think it's like a shot at him. It's a guy that Showdown Joe knew. He's a Canadian guy. He's very opinionated. He'll be on the show with Showdown Joe tonight at 9. Subscribe to his iTunes, Stitcher, YouTube, because pretty soon you're going to have to register for free at Fightful.com to get all these early access, much like this show. Now, another Matt Riddle-related topic. Louis Lyndon, he's the guy that Matt accused of being a pirate, the AIW pirate, who is actually the captain of a ship. That's the one of the booking decisions that Matt maybe didn't completely agree with. Well, I had interviewed John Thorne of AIW, and I sarcastically said something like, well, if you ever book Matt Riddle in hot sauce against Louis Lyndon, you could bring in Paul Burchill to team with Louis Lyndon. That would be entertaining. Matt would be a heel. Well, they're booking Paul Burchill versus Louis Lyndon. Very excited to see how Matt feels about that. Oh, he's back. Hopefully his connection doesn't suck.
Is it better?
It's better for now. I mean, who knows?
I mean, I did that hard power on and off.
I hope it works.
Me
Either
too.
way, I'm going to get to one of the topics that I mentioned while we were off air. Do you know who our newest Fightful MMA podcast co-host is?
I don't. Who is this?
It's a guy that you know, Matt.
Ooh, am I friends with him?
I don't think so. But maybe you are. Sean Pearson.
Sean Pearson, the Canadian guy?
You fought?
Yeah, Sean Pearson's the man.
Okay, cool. He's a friend of Showdown Joe's, and we were looking to expand. We got him and Elias Theodoru. But as I was looking over his record, I was like, oh, snap, he fought Matt.
He fought me in a pretty epic war in Montreal.
How do you feel about that? What was your relationship with one Sean Pearson like?
Well, our relationship is I punched him in the face. He punched me in the face in front of a lot of people for a lot of money in Montreal.
23,000 people there.
Yeah, and then we should have got fight of the night. We didn't because the fans voted, and they voted for GSP Koscheck, you know. But
GSP jabbing Josh Koscheck repeatedly until his fucking orbital split in two.
That's basically what happened. And then I remember Sean Pearson was a cop, but then wasn't able to be a cop anymore, or wasn't able to be a cop because he fought me, and then he pursued his career in the UFC. I don't know, is he still fighting in the UFC, or did he retire?
One of the cool things about this, Matt, is Elias Theodorou is like 4-1 in the UFC, 6-1 if you count tough. You left the UFC on a 4-fight winning streak. Sean Pearson hasn't fought in 3 or 4 years. He has hung him up He left the UFC also on a 3-fight winning streak. No scrubs here at Fightful.
Wow, we are stallions.
No scrubs. I kept making the joke earlier this week that since 2012, Fightful.com is like 11-1, 12-1 in the UFC.
Dude, that's pretty legit.
Pretty solid. Pretty solid.
Very solid. Very solid. Well, good for Sean being part of the Fightful team.
Fightful team. Very excited to have him on. He's on tonight at 9 with Showdown Joe. They're talking all kinds of MMA. I think usually that'll be a Wednesday time slot, guys, but tonight, 9 p.m. Now, here's one I'm real excited to ask you about.
What's that?
This AIW thing. Did you get that text I sent you the other day?
Which one?
The Lewis Linden one.
I don't know. Like the other day, like or
it was earlier this week. You didn't reply to it, Matt. What the hell's up?
I don't know. Maybe I didn't get it. I have this Nokia Luma. I'm getting my phone this weekend, but right now I'm working with this Nokia Luma that's real trash.
Okay, I sent it to you Friday. So Lewis Linden has been booked in AIW against that pirate that I showed you from WWE.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
I know.
They're getting the Riddle rub here.
I know for a fact that, dude, the Riddle rub is what's up. You know, I guarantee me talking shit. I hope he gets a contract. I hope he does. But, yeah, you know, I talked to a couple people that, you know, work at AIW, and they were like, yeah, they're doing this whole thing. And I was like, oh, that's awesome, you know. So good for Linden.
Good. I hope they all make money off of it.
Well, they have a good product. They have tons of matches and tons of good indie wrestlers. So,
and I was a big fan of Paul Burchill in like 2004, right before he got signed by the WWE. He was this big, like 240, 250 pound guy that could do like standing shooting star presses and all this incredible athletic stuff. And they made him a pirate.
Hey, sometimes being a pirate's easier than doing crazy stuff. Does he still do the crazy stuff?
I don't know. He hasn't really wrestled consistently for a long time. I'm pretty sure he's a fireman now, which is pretty crazy stuff, to be honest with you.
Fight fires, yeah.
Yeah, I think he may live here in Kentucky because that's what happens. A lot of the guys who used to wrestle at OVW when it was a WWE developmental territory, they just kind of stick around in Kentucky. Like Damian Sandow did. I don't know why. I live here and I don't quite understand the appeal of sticking around, but hey, to each their own.
I'm in Pennsylvania. I don't know why I'm sticking around.
The weather is just so bad and like.
Well, it's 50 degrees today.
Yeah, it's fantastic today, but I mean.
The last couple of days was cold.
Like, you know, Jimmy is like, oh, when you getting in for the Rumble? I'm like, dude, I don't know. My flight, it's at the end of January in Kentucky. We might be under 4 feet of snow. You never know.
I don't think so.
You never know.
Global warming, bro. I don't think so.
That's not the way it works, Matt.
I don't think that's gonna happen.
I could listen to you talk about global warming for an hour, though. That would be an interesting one.
I don't think people need to hear that.
Why?
You know, I don't think I'm up to date on the topic. You know,
I know that would make it even better.
I just know there's a lot of pollution in the world. I don't think I'm helping. I'm flying all around the world on a consistent basis, so my carbon footprint's horrific. So
I was a little bummed.
Oh,
I saw that you're doing a seminar, and I would have legit came to the seminar if I was in town in time for Evolve. That's
right. Well, there's gonna be
dude.
Another one WrestleMania weekend in Florida, cool. So you can go to that one too. You should be at WrestleMania anyway.
Hopefully, Jimmy Van. I know he contacted you about a suite.
They're all
sold out.
Well, you know, so maybe we got to rent a house.
Nice.
I don't know what's so funny about that. We rent a house downtown Orlando, right? Actually, you know, I might actually have some hookups. You know, if anybody's watching the Fightful podcast and has a hookup for the Fightful team,
hey,
for your bro. Let me know. I mean, I already have a room and stuff.
Yeah, I don't think lodging is an issue, but all the suites at the venue, all the suites at wherever the hell the event is, sold out already.
Well, what were you thinking? It's WrestleMania. That thing sells out. It sells out the second it's announced.
That's what I told Jimmy, and he acted surprised. I think I told Jimmy that. I was like, yeah, I figured they'd go pretty early. Jimmy Van, you got to get on the ball, buddy.
People underestimate the selling power of professional wrestling every day, and I'm like, they're like, it's pro wrestling, and I'm like, bro, you don't even fucking know.
You don't know.
Pro wrestling is where it's at.
Don't even fucking know. Speaking of, I'm coming to Evolve, Matt.
I know. January.
Yeah.
Rumble weekend. I believe I'm wrestling ACH.
Ooh.
Because I'm a stallion, so they put stallions together. And no, I'm kidding. I'm very excited. I'm grateful for the opportunity, for sure.
You need a fake humble gimmick. Like your heel gimmick can be you pretending to be humble.
Well, I'll be honest. It's really like in my head. It's really, and I know it's easy to be a heel. You just got to be like mean to people.
Yeah,
like. Just be mean. Like, say something your mom told you not to say. And it's like say it. And it's like, oh, yeah.
How dare you?
But you see, and like to be a real heel in pro wrestling, it's like you can't be a comedian. Like you got the Kevin Owens, but he's really not a heel. Like he does healer stuff, but people cheer for it,
Mm-hmm.
The key, to be a real heel, you gotta say some real mean stuff. And you gotta say it like not sarcastic, like you're a piece of trash, and like mean that shit. Say something personal and mean it, and like slap somebody in the mouth.
Yeah, I'm with that.
Make it personal. Like that's how you become a heel.
And on the indie circuit, it seems like a really like a gray area for almost everybody because the fans are just going to cheer for who they like. There are a few exceptions, of course.
The best part I love about indie wrestling is if you're really good at wrestling, doesn't matter if you're a good guy or bad guy, you're like you'll make good money. You know what I'm saying? Well, I feel like in the WWE you need to be like a good guy to sell a good amount of merch and do all that because like good guys sell merch, bad guys don't. Well, indie wrestling, the fans are smart, so they appreciate like a really good bad guy or a really good guy, or a really good wrestler.
I always my thing was if I really, really like a heel as a heel, I'm going to boo them. So, that's the reaction they should get. Like, I don't know if I should cheer somebody who's supposed to be getting booed if I think they're doing their job right or doing their job well. I don't know. It's a weird.
Well, I think in my head, a good heel is somebody when you're watching and when they do something, you're like, son of a bitch. Like, he's doing that. It's like, again, or it's like, as little as it could be as little as pulling the trunks or whatever it is, but like just cheap stuff, and being mean about it and saying mean stuff. That's why like The Miz is probably one of the best heels right now that they've seen in a long time because like he's mean. He says mean things, says it like he means it, and then he's The Miz. He's very easy to hate.
So one of the finer moments of this Fightful BROCAST was your reaction to the Undertaker's declaration that he was digging holes and taking souls, Matt.
Digging holes and taking souls. That's what he do.
Did you happen to catch Monday Night Raw?
I was like, this week I felt compelled to watch it, but I didn't. I've just been so busy just working on this body. But please tell me the Taker came back and he dropped a line of greatness for me.
Oh, I forgot to make the poster or put the poster up that Graham Williams made. That's retweeted on my Twitter at Sean Ross Sapp, you guys. I will update this.
Ooh, what is it?
It's I Am Legend or Bro Am Legend Let me pull this up right here.
Oh, hey, bro legend. Bregin. Somebody made a bro.
There we go.
Oh.
There we go. Look at that. And your
Whoa.
dog. Your dog.
Oh man. Oh
even
man. That's
Classic.
brutal. That's
Classic.
brutal.
That is phenomenal. Graham Williams, the man. Go follow him, guys. Graham_Williams. That is unbelievable work. Unbelievable work.
That's good stuff.
The Undertaker came back and on Raw and not only said he was entering the Royal Rumble, but he didn't just one up his original digging holes and taking souls statement, Matt. He multiplied it by 29 because he says, I have dug 29 holes for 29 souls.
Ooh, 29 holes for 29 souls. That's
Cold.
pretty good. That's pretty good. He's sticking with it. He knows it's popping. It's probably, dude, he probably comes out every 6 months and makes a t-shirt.
Well, I think there's been one that's made now. I need to look on WWE shop. By the way, guys, check out the main page of Fightful.com. We now have Fightful shirts. So go buy like 9 of them. Long sleeve, short sleeve,
go buy
soft
9
style.
of them.
All of them. Buy all of them, guys.
Oh, you got different designs. That's pretty sweet.
Well, we don't have different designs per se. We have different styles. Like we have the long sleeve, the short sleeve, the muscle tee, all that stuff. Pro wrestling tees, I don't like to do all the work myself. Damn it. I'm not like you. Oh, here we go. Here it is, Matt. Where the hell?
Does it have a shirt that says 29 souls? 29
it doesn't have 29 souls, but
souls and holes.
Look at that. Taking souls, digging holes.
Wow.
Since
90. With the shovel and oh wow.
Oh, I didn't even notice that. It's got the shovel and the sickle.
He's a classic guy.
And it's got this dorky fucking tag at the bottom that says WWE Authentic Wear because
they got to pump their brand.
Evidently. I think it's dorky as shit. The only thing dorkier, well, it used to be they would put like a guy posing on the front of a shirt. I thought that was pretty lame.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, when you're a grown man and you have like a dude flexing on your shirt and a Speedo, it's like, Then again, if you're a man that's willing to rock that shirt in public, you're kind of a stallion.
Yeah, that's true. Like it's the irony of it now. But a few years ago, like when WWE would do that, they would make him so corny. Like
when I was in high school, if you wore like a Bret Hart T-shirt with Bret Hart on it, you might have to fight somebody.
You should. Now let me show you one notable exception. My now wife bought me this shirt a few years ago, and boy, did she do a good job. Look at that.
Oh, hey, well, let's see it.
Ric Flair.
Well, that's a good shirt. Anything with flair, especially vintage flair.
One time, I took a picture of it with my digital camera of me wearing it, and the face on that thing is so fucking big, Matt, that the facial recognition didn't recognize me as a face, but it recognized Ric Flair as a face.
That's wow. Even in a selfie, he stole your shine.
He did.
It's Ric Flair though, and he's one of the most notable. Like it's like The Rock. If you had a shirt with The Rock's face, you'd probably notice like Rock.
Well, I mean, I think it was the size of the face, not whose face it was.
I think it was the Ric Flair's face was the same size as yours on a T-shirt. It would probably still recognize his face first.
I don't think it has anything to do with fame, Matt. It's a technological software.
Is it? I thought it was just like, it's technology, but like if you're looked up more and stuff, your face will pop up first.
Nobody's looking up stuff on a digital camera. Damn it, Matt.
I don't know.
How many souls do you think the Undertaker will take and fill holes with at the Rumble?
I really don't know. I wonder if they're gonna give him like one last title push, Taker style. Like, why not? Better than the game.
It's funny because like 10 years ago, I thought that was going to be like his last push when he won 10 years ago.
You know, I think
Timeless.
he's up there. He's good, but then again, you got like Goldberg. He's in the Rumble, right?
Yep. And Brock Lesnar.
And Brock. I mean,
Seth Rollins is in it.
there's too much talent. There's too much talent in that one Rumble already.
There's a lot of them. Let's see who else is in there. The Miz, New Day, Dolph Ziggler, Dean Ambrose, Chris Jericho, Braun Strowman.
And you see, Braun Strowman, runner-up rookie.
Mm-hmm. Not exactly rookie of the year, but runner-up.
Hey, it was a tough year to win it.
It was.
It
was.
Come on. Hey, you know what? I saw that Okada Omega match.
What did you think? I'm excited to hear this.
You know what? The match was good. It was really good.
You gotta trash this match, Matt.
Not at all. I can't. I can't trash anything. Well, it started off a little slow, but when you go that long, you have to start off slow to tell that long. But like, very good. My favorite part of the match, though, had nothing to do with the match. Just seeing the crowd's reaction, like there was people just openly weeping in the crowd with how good the match was. And I'll be honest, the match was that good. It really was. Like, I didn't openly weep, but like I thought about it, It was good. But like just seeing the people, and like they weren't crying because they were sad. They were crying because they were just like, you could tell they were just so honored to see such a great performance live. And they were like, I can't hide my tears of joy. You could tell that was and it was good. Good match.
Yeah, they went 45 minutes and it felt like 20 to me when I watched it. I'm going to watch it again. Access TV sent me a screener with Jim Ross and Josh Barnett's commentary on it because they're airing it Friday.
Oh.
I'm going to watch it back with that too.
Josh Barnett getting that commentary. Has he been doing commentary with Jim Ross there for a minute now? Or?
Yeah, and before that he did it with Morrow. He's been doing New Japan for a while. And he may end up wrestling there before long because he got popped for the PEDs again.
Well, I'll be honest. I watched me some Wrestle Kingdom, and it looks like a good time.
Yeah,
looks like the Bro should probably make his entrance at least.
Listen, man, I got to see you face three people in particular. I got to see you face Kushida. I got to see you face Kenny Omega and Okada. Kushida, because when he's in there, especially with a guy like you who knows what the fuck he's doing on the ground. He uses that double wrist lock a lot. Like he incorporates it into his matches. And really, the main guy I've seen with him that really worked that really well was Kyle O'Reilly. I think you can do it better. I think you can.
Thanks, bro.
I think you can.
I believe.
And Kenny Omega, he's such an animated guy.
His expressions, his facial game is on point. And his athleticism, his look, he's got the full package. That Kenny Omega
pretty much trained himself.
Hey, he's killing it.
How do you feel about people that do that? Like, it's so funny because really the main people that I see bitching about that are really, 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 really low-level wrestlers who never made it much of anywhere in wrestling, and they're mad because somebody who didn't necessarily get the same kind of training went further. I mean, I know Ethan Page pretty much trained himself. Kenny Omega, the Hardys did. Like, there have been some success stories there.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing that you train yourself, like I trained myself mostly in jiu-jitsu. I didn't really train at a big gym until later on in my career. And I did it mostly through books and DVDs and just watching other people doing it and going to competitions, And I think with pro wrestling, because you can get so hands-on so quick, I think that's what these guys do. They get a couple buddies, they start wrestling, or they go to shows and throw themselves out there and wrestle. And You know, it's like you can watch something. Like me personally, I can watch something, see it, and then duplicate it. You know, I can watch something on YouTube and then do it. You know, like maybe not 100% or not as good, but after a couple times, I will. You know, so I think for somebody like Kenny Omega, he's probably got that gift to just look at something and do it. You know.
There was once a guy, speaking of MMA self-training, there was a guy by the name of John Jones who used to say that he learned his striking off of YouTube videos. And he did okay for himself.
He did fantastic for himself. Fantastic. Oh, speaking of which, Flow Slam, not Flow Slam, the Flow Grapple or Submission Underground match is not happening.
Elaborate. I put you in touch with a guy from there.
Yeah, I got in touch. He got back to me. He told me to get in touch with Mr. Sonnen for future possible grappling matches. And I'm not going to mention other names, but the person that said the match was probably happening, could happen, all that jazz, who's no longer there, wasn't authorized to say nay or yay. I don't know if that's the reasoning why or whatnot. It's not my place.
Yeah.
But, hey.
Well, there have been some shakeups there. I mean, there have been a few little shakeups. They
came here and did a documentary, and I, said to them, hey, don't release this, unless you, run this by me. Let me, get a copy or see a preview before, you just... You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So we'll see. Jeremy was the one that set that up and sent those guys out here. So we'll see how that all turns out. Not that I did anything crazy on camera or off camera. I didn't. I don't. But at the same time, you say, anybody from any person's life you could probably make look bad, just by editing. I was on the Ultimate Fighter. Come on.
I was about to bring that up, actually. And I mean, I like Jeremy Botter a lot. I like Flow Slam a lot. I like Dwayne, who works there, a lot. I think I'm confident that if I'm willing to bet that they'll probably try to figure out something to get you involved in Submission Underground.
Yeah, we talked in that email. There was, it's not like the door was closed.
Did you walk into the boss's office, hit him with a Stone Cold Stunner, and crack a few beers open?
No, that's not really my steez, I mean, don't get me wrong, I'll go into the boss's office, but I'm more of a, not kicking the groin stunner kind of guy. I'm more of like a flying elbow or something, something cool like that.
Here's another interesting one, Matt. The Nevada Athletic Commission is going to review the rules on cannabis use in MMA. Have you heard about this?
I've been tagged a couple times.
I'm shocked.
Yeah. I'll be honest. I'm not a mind reader or a fortune teller or a psychic, but I called this shit years ago. And if they actually review it and do things properly and look at the circumstances, and, they're going to be like, I can't believe we've ever banned an organic substance like this. So, like I said, I don't even consider marijuana a medicine. I consider it more of like an herbal supplement, So
yeah.
That's how I personally look at it. And I think if they look at it in that sense, not to, I don't use it, I don't think people necessarily use it just like, oh, I use it to get fucked. You can get drunk, you can do other drugs to get messed up. It's, I think most people that use it on a regular basis use it more as like a supplement, So I think that's how they're going to rule it. It's going to be fine. I'm going to be like, I told you so. And it'd be sweet if I could get my no contest overturned, but that's not happening.
Well, I mean, you never really had much of a problem in Nevada, did you? That was internationally.
Yeah, but everybody follows the rules in Nevada. So, if the Nevada Athletic Commission says okay, it's like every other athletic commission is going to say okay. And in England, there is no athletic commission. And, those countries, there is none. So it's the UFC that runs that. So they decide who gets drug tested. They decide, whatever happens.
I was saying this off the air, and there are some people, when you say I left on a 4-fight winning streak, they're like, no, you left with 2-0 and 2 no contests. I would say that if you had failed for steroids or a PED or something. This is marijuana.
Me too.
Marijuana.
I would, even if I failed for a harder drug like cocaine or Oxycontin or something, because it's well, maybe you were pepped up or maybe you couldn't feel pain, but marijuana, dude, no, there's nothing, no way it made me stronger, faster, better in any way. The only thing that is remotely enhancing is recovery. It helps you relax. It helps you sleep. It helps you chill, So
I think if anything, that should be encouraged.
Yeah. Well, I think, you look at all these, who could really use some cannabis? Conor McGregor. Maybe he won't hit little kids in the crowd with energy sodas, or whatever he's doing. It's seriously. Or maybe John Jones wouldn't be hitting people with his car. But then again, I'm pretty sure he had weed in the car with the cocaine. So, you can't. Well, basically, bottom line is you have to be a responsible adult in any situation.
Throwing that energy soda probably added 200,000 buys to that pay-per-view.
You're a piece of trash. And if somebody bought that pay-per-view because of that, I'll say it right now, you're a piece of trash.
You'd be surprised.
I'm not. Because this is the thing. When I I'll see it's like watching World Star. You see World Star and you'll see just the worst of the worst of humanity and see how many hits it has, and you're like, this can't be real.
Oh, the comment section is the best there, though.
Yeah, well, the comment section, I can't even get into that, because then it's comments and then people commenting on comments, and it's I'm like, no, you guys are just a pack of savages, you're a bunch of shitbirds, I'm out of here.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, I saw a guy get gut-wrenched power-bombed on World Star.
You see, the thing is, there are some sweet moments, but at the same time, I feel like the thing with World Star is there's a lot of mismatches, and there's no referee. Those are my two problems with World Star: mismatches and no referees. There should always be somebody to regulate the situation, and definitely not Eve Levine. Somebody better.
So we're gonna get into some of the news stories, the unusual news stories. A Jimmy John's employee in Florida was fired after he posted a video on Snapchat of him jumping rope with dough. Matt, your thoughts?
Well, I think it was rightful firing. I don't know. I don't eat at Jimmy John's. I'm really glad. But this makes me worry about any sandwich establishment that makes fresh bread. I mean, and granted, I guess it's baked, so it's really not that bad. But at the same time, there's no need to do that. That's a low move. That's a lowman. Or or what did I say? A Munson? That's a Munson. That's a Munson move. He deserves the firing. And
try to avoid bread as is, but damn.
You're one of those guys. You avoid carbs.
I'm one of those guys. My wrist is really fucked up, and I can't really lift very much right now. Maybe when I get it checked out, I'll be able to, but I kind of got to get rid of carbs when I can't lift. So don't want to become a big fat ass, Matt.
I don't even know what to say to you. That's the most not manly thing I've ever heard in my life. Well, can't lift
your
weights.
Job.
My wrist hurts. Can't lift weights. Got to stay off the carbs, or I'll get a fat ass.
I've been trying to put off surgery for a year on the thing. So,
well, I'll tell you this.
This is what I do all day.
I'll tell you this with the wrist thing. if you put off surgery, it's probably going to be harder to fix now. So you might as well just try to rehab it the best you can. That's how it goes.
Yeah, I've got to set up some physical therapy stuff. It sucks. It's pretty rough, but
YouTube it, bro. YouTube it. Kenny Omega.
I mean, if I don't lift, then it doesn't bother me. But then when I go to work out, man, it fucked up for 2 weeks at a time. But hey, it's a part of it. It's a part of it.
You should just wrap it up, tape it like a pro.
That's what I do. If I go to wrestling practice, that's what I do. So I mean, I can make it through that.
When you get your fox catcher on, you tape it up.
Yeah, pretty much. Just wrap it up, really, or wear a brace or something like that. Which that sucks when you're trying to fight off submissions and stuff, but not like I'm training for a UFC fight or anything. I think I'll be okay. Here was an interesting story that may or may not be true. It's a quote-unquote report. Some are saying it started from a 4chan prank. Rumors emerged this week that President-elect Donald Trump hired some Russian hookers to piss on a bed that the Obamas once slept in.
The thing is, I don't think it's impossible. Right? But I don't see, was this before he was president or after?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Well, he's not president yet. He gets inaugurated in 12 days or something.
It's gonna happen.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can't believe I'm actually saying that's gonna happen. That's kind of crazy.
That is.
But yeah, I mean, like I said, I don't doubt it, but I don't think he would do it. Why pay 4 Russians to piss on a? That just sounds ludicrous.
You've never done that?
Well, no, I've never paid anybody to pee anywhere.
Did the Chinese people just pay that for you when you went over there, or how did that work?
What do you mean when people peed?
I mean, did they pay for Chinese hookers to just piss all over beds for you all, or how did that work?
No. That's not how it works in China.
That's ridiculous. Yeah, because instead they piss on the streets and shit on the streets.
Yeah, they do occasionally do that. They got the holes in the ground to pee and poop in as well. Different stuff. I've been told it's a more natural way of going to the bathroom. You're supposed to.
Would you say that there are any souls in those holes?
There's a lot of souls in those holes. To take a shit in one of those holes, you gotta lose your soul. Think about it, bro. It's a big country, and people are just dropping turds in holes.
The world we live in.
Hey, it's getting overpopulated. There's too many people. We're lucky there's even holes to shit in.
Are we? People could just shit in on the ground. They don't need a hole necessarily. Dogs do it all the time.
You know what? And there's not that many dogs just running wild and free. There is, but there isn't.
Wild dogs are terrifying. And wild cats.
Wild cats I feel like they attack more, but wild dogs are definitely more dangerous. Mm-hmm. We called them coy dogs in upstate New York. I lived pretty up in the woods, and we had some coy dogs. Pretty wild sometimes.
Give us an update on your dog. What's up with that?
Going through the rescue process. It's a process. They want us to get a 6-foot fence and stuff like that.
Wow.
So and it's January, so the ground's kind of frozen right now. So it's kind of hard to do.
That's frustrating.
It is. And then, they kind of giving us a hard time. So,
it's your fucking dog. You found it after a year, and now you got to go through
Yeah,
This rigmarole.
but they said to my wife, they go, well, it seems like you guys didn't look hard enough. And we're like, what do what do you mean? They're like, would you stop looking for your kid? And I kind of want to be like, well, we have 3 kids, so like, if you had 4 kids and you like, so one of them ran away, like, and you looked for him but couldn't find him, like, would you give up on like the 3 other kids looking for the one kid? I mean, you would a little, but you know what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying, bro.
Oh, I don't ever want kids.
So they're being sticklers about this dog, but where there's a will, there's a way. I think we'll get him sooner than later.
I was bummed. People were excited to see the podcast debut of Dutch.
Dude, don't get me started. Right now, this dude named Bruce has him.
Bruce.
This dude, yeah, some old dude named Bruce. He has like 6 other huskies. Is
that the guy that you all saw walking him?
Yeah, he had like 6 other huskies. We saw Dutch out of the husky group, and boom.
Do you think Bruce is making things more difficult on purpose?
I don't think it's necessarily Bruce. I think it's the whole, if it was like an adoption, it wouldn't be a big deal, but it's a rescue. And I guess with rescue dogs, they make it like a bigger deal, So, yeah. But yeah, like, I guess like he literally, like, our dog was found like the day we like misplaced him, and he went into like this rescue for like North American breeders that we never heard of, and all of our friends didn't hear about it. So we looked at all the pounds and everywhere else and couldn't find him because this guy already had him and he was with this rescue. And then when we find our dog, and now we still can't get him. So it's a little frustrating right now.
That have probably backhanded somebody, so I applaud your patience.
Well, dude, that's the kind of a disadvantage of being like a professional cage fighter and wrestler. It's like, what do I do to this old dude? Do I fucking suplex him on his head? It's like, I could literally against his will do it and fuck him up. And it's like, and then just walk away with my dog because it's my dog. But at the same time, it's like, that's not the right thing to do. And I think the court would be rough on me if I
they would.
If I like hit like a drop step and German suplex an old dude on his neck and then took my dog. It's like they're like, you didn't even pay the adoption fee, bro, or rescue fee, whatever. So,
one other thing I want to ask you about before we go, BJ Penn, he's coming back this Sunday.
Fighting.
Fights this Sunday against Yair Rodriguez, who's really good. I'll put it like this.
Well, I think they're giving that guy a push. They're like, here's BJ Penn.
Yeah.
It's like imagine if they brought Dan Hardy in and like they let like anybody fight him at this point. He'd get his ass whooped, and then it's like he just beat Dan Hardy. It'll add to his name.
I'll put it like this, Matt. You've been out of the UFC for 4 years. And you have 4 wins since the last time BJ Penn won a fight.
Yes.
He has not won a fight since November 2010, that knockout over Matt Hughes. He has won only 1 of his last 7. And here he is. He's fighting at featherweight. The last time he fought at featherweight, the only time, Frankie Edgar, who beat the shit out of him.
Mm-hmm. I remember.
He came tiptoeing in, and I heard that he had trained his whole camp like that, and then like a couple weeks before, he was told, oh, you can't do that. And he agreed, but he had spent so much time in his camp training that way that he didn't want to switch it up, and he paid the price. Now, I don't know how familiar you are with Yair Rodriguez. He's really raw. He's 9-1. He does a lot of spinning shit, a lot of highlight reel type of stuff. What do you think about BJ Penn fighting at this stage?
Well, the thing is, BJ Penn's, don't get me wrong, world-class athlete, world-class fighter. He's the prodigy. He's the original, MMA is all about timing and when you're in your prime. Pro wrestling's the same way. They're all this way. Pro wrestling, you can prolong a little bit, but MMA, not so much. You know, BJ, unfortunately, I feel like he was in his prime. He did extremely well. He had a great, successful title run at 155, where he defended against Kenny Florian and others. And, it's just like Chuck Liddell. He had that great title run this day. He lost to Rampage, had a couple good fights, but then just kept pushing it and pushing it. And it's like in BJ's pushing it. And in MMA, like I said, it's all about timing. Right now is not BJ Penn's time. Not saying he can't win. He could always grab a submission. He could always knock somebody out. It's BJ Penn. He's extremely talented and good, But at the same time, like when you're in your prime, you're in your prime. When you're like an animal, you're an animal. Like everybody knows that. And it's like, and that other guy, whatever his name is, 9-1. Sorry, Gomez.
Yeah. Yair Rodriguez.
Like you said, 9-1, up and comer, strong, can do a lot of athletic spin stuff, hard highlight reel striker. It's like it sounds like to me like a fancier Melvin Gillard versus BJ Penn in his like old BJ Penn, which to me just says knockout.
Yeah. I completely agree with you on that sentiment.
But like I said, BJ Penn's one of the best in the world on the ground. But at the same time, that guy's probably explosive and athletic enough to, even if they go to the ground, to stand right up, hit him, get away, and make him stand back up. Because it's MMA, it's a fight. And people always forget. It's like, dude, if you drop some elbows on somebody's head, like I don't care how good you are at jiu-jitsu. It's like an elbow to your nose or eye or temple or ear or jaw or tooth, whatever, hurts. Fact. Boom. Like,
what do you think of fighters? Now, BJ Penn is not in this situation. He's fighting a real contender. But you've got older guys like Shamrock and Gracie and even – to a lesser degree, Tito Ortiz versus Chael Sonnen. These guys who are definitely way past their prime, but still doing it. Are you cool with that? I mean, them making a check, they draw ratings.
They draw ratings. They put eyes on the cards, and that helps the guys that are building the reputation that are underneath them, because everybody watches the whole card to watch that fight usually. And so it's like, that's good. And as long as we're going against each other, the problem I have is like you bring in like a Liddell or bring in a Chael Sonnen or Tito Ortiz and have them fight like a dude who's like 26-10-0 or 10-1, and he's won his last 9 fights by knockout or submission. And it's like, and like that guy's a stallion in his prime. He was groomed on those 9 fights, those 10 fights, and now he's ready for the big show. And it's like, who can we put him against to build his name? Well, Stephan Bonner, Tito, you know what I'm saying, at that weight class at least. And like Stephan Bonner's an amazing fighter. He can still beat anybody on any given day, Same thing with like a Forrest Griffin, same thing with, any of those guys. But at the same time, like, they're also past their prime, and it's like, and if those fights go into those deep waters, they're not going to be able to hang.
Yeah, I agree. I don't see anything wrong with that. I would watch Chuck Liddell beat up a scrub. Absolutely, even today. Matt, tell the people where they can follow you on Twitter.
Twitter, I think is it still Riddle Top 7? We do this every week. Riddle Top 7 at Riddle Top 7, and then I believe I'm Riddle Bro on Instagram, but I haven't been on there because I still don't have my iPhone. And you can't use it. You can't use Instagram unless you have like an iPhone
or an Android.
Or an Android or something.
When do you get your phone back? Why don't you have them ship it over?
Well, because I don't want to say where I'm going to be this weekend, but I'm getting it this weekend. So, but I think the UPS, is sending this weekend. So,
yeah, that must be it. Follow me at Sean Ross Sapp. Follow us at Fightful Wrestle, at Fightful MMA, at Fightful Online. Matt, anything you want to tell the people before we go?
Just look out. Look out, bros. 2017.
Wherever you go this weekend, man. Fill a hole with a soul.
I'm going to be dropping mad souls and mad holes.
Jesus Christ. Guys, Showdown Joe, Sean Pearson tonight at 9 p.m. Subscribe. We're out.
Later.